Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today it's Taskmaster Tuesday, and that means I'm going to be taking on a challenge, and I'll be doing that against various other content creators, and their attempts are listed down below. Today the challenge is easy, yet it will cause significant challenges. It's run, however, let me first open with that, on Alpha 10. Some of the other guys already recorded their vids, and that means that they're running on Alpha 9. I'm running on Alpha 10, which gives the AI some ship evasion improvements. So hopefully we'll not see any more of those large bundles of ships. There is now a ship reverse button, so you can slow down faster, but with the caveat that if you do this at full speed, and you suddenly throw the ship into reverse, there's a very real chance that you'll damage your engines. And finally, AI optimization. Supposedly, they're going to be using better firing distances, and for example, destroyer should be more aggressive. Now, I'll link the patch notes for Alpha 10 down below in the description. Anyway, for today's challenge, we are engaging an enemy fleet from Italy, using our own fleet of 2 Russian battlecruisers. There is, however, a twist. We must have a fore or aft weight offset of at least 15%. So what I normally try to avoid as much as possible is now actually the job. Make your ship as imbalanced as possible. For each percentage that you go over the aft weight offset or fore weight offset of 15%, you gain 1 bonus point. If you have a port or a weight offset as well, then for each percent that you gain, for each percent that you have, you gain another bonus point. Right, build a ship that is as imbalanced as possible. Here we go. Modern battlecruiser. There is nothing said about restrictions on budget. So we're going to go with a tank of a battlecruiser because there is quite a bit that needs sinking. Now I lose 10 points for every battlecruiser that I lose. I score 15 points per battleship that I score. I score 10 points per battle cruiser that I sink, and for 5 points I can get a heavy cruiser, or rather, every heavy cruiser that I sink gains me 5 points. So, there is quite a lot to be had, points-wise. The more I imbalance the ship, the better. Let's see, how bad can I design this thing? How poorly can I throw this ship together? First, let's work on some defenses. Because she might be imbalanced, but at least I want her to survive. Here we go. Modern tower has to fit down the middle. And then the secondary tower... Oh, actually, no, it doesn't have to fit down the front. Wait, this is 3,900 tons. A main gun of 18 inches, quad turret, is 4,100 tons. Won't fit. Okay, am I going to go for a fore or an aft weight offset? How about a massive aft weight offset? So I'm going to put this one here. I'll probably need a... Is this going to fit one of those 18 inches? No. No, it won't. Holy shit. Okay. 57%. But wait. There's more. There's now 73% aft weight offset. Now, I also gained some points for having the ship imbalanced port and starboard. So the more of a roll that I have, well, I'm hesitant to use the word better. But the more points I score, that's definitely an interesting way to get some points. Let's see. You score another percent, or another point per percent that you're off balance. Right? So... 79 minus 14, minus 15 is 64 points already. That's quite substantial. But I might be able to do this and not have a ship that's capable of doing some damage. So that would mean that no matter how imbalanced the ship is, I don't have the firepower to sink battleships and battle cruisers. Although they're only worth 15 points, 10 points, and 5 points. Right, if I turn off the mirror mode and I plunk down another 13-inch gun only on the port side. Jesus Christ. I'll also have a port weight offset of 100%. Is this thing even going to launch? And what's my accuracy going to do? Yeah, here. I get a minus 40% accuracy. Good lord. That's a hell of a lot of transverse weight offset. Longitudinal is another minus 24% base accuracy. Jesus Christ, this thing is not going to hit anything. I'm thinking that the torpedoes might be my actual weapon system. Those might be the ones that actually do the damage. 21-inch, preferably electrics. That's 15 torpedo launchers per side, augmented with a very heavily stern-mounted 18-inch gun, or 18-inch battery. I just need to find a little bit of weight. There we go. 31.5, Kronstadt. This has to be the worst ship I have ever designed when it comes to displacement. Anyway, with this start, I am already looking at 85 points, sheerly from the port weight offset, and another fairly substantial amount of points from the aft weight offset of 82%. So this is a hell of a start. Now I just need to sink some more ships. Right. If I put these things here... Yeah, there we go, 84%. How bad can I make this? Move those here. Jesus. 85.7 and 100. Alright, well this is going to be it. This is going to be it. I already have 70 points from my from my aft weight offset, and another 85 points from my port weight offset. The real question is going to be whether this ship can actually do anything useful, because my accuracy is going to take such massive hits that I don't know if I'm capable of landing any kind of hits, even with these 18-inch guns. So here's to the worst ship that I've designed so far. Starting range is 16k. Look at that bow. It's like I forgot something on the bow. Or I have VLS, vertical launch systems. Anyway, 2 battleships, 2 battle cruisers, 4 heavies. They all need to go. If I lose a battle cruiser, that means that I lose 10 points. So I gotta be a bit careful with these things. Torpedoes will run to 12 kilometers, and that means that they're most likely not in range yet. No, there they are. And these guys are heading away. Great. Torpedo launchers. What are you? Are you a heavy cruiser? Because they seem to be carrying some really small guns for a heavy cruiser. Weird. Are those 7-inch guns? Curious. Okay. Okay, that's their battleship with 18 barrels. Question is, can they make those things useful or not? This is another 12 battle, what I think is a battle cruiser. Oh, and by the way, here is the reverse button. Enable the reverse engines. While the reverse engines are used, your ship will decelerate faster and needs to avoid torpedoes or other ships. You might also want to use reverse engines to maneuver backwards, but be warned. Engines may become temporarily damaged if you attempt to reverse while traveling at high speed. Yeah, so it might work, but you gotta be really freaking careful with it. What's your turning circle? 2,000 meters? Good lord. 2,000 meters? I have seen turning circles which are substantial, but 2,000 meters is a new low. Look at this. And this is at 28 knots. Oh no. I have no idea how long these ships are going to survive. I know that I'll at least have 155 points. Probably 135 as I lose both of the battle cruisers. It just remains to be seen how / if these things can deploy some accurate fire onto the enemy battleships. Because I believe that that should be my target as they're worth the most points. Wait one. Target the lead battleship. Or what I expect is the battleship. 13-inch guns are away. Whoa, that's getting quite close. 18-inch guns are turning towards the target. Look at this bow. It's so empty. Really? 3%? That's actually pretty good. Considering it's the first salvo. And if these 18-inch guns actually deliver their 18-inch shells onto the target, they might do a load of damage. Utterly, utterly terrible designs. Oh, there we go. Flooding. Of course, it has to be the Kursk that's flooding. 2.8%. I do have a fairly tanky cruiser in the way that it's capable of getting rid of some of the flooding. But she's a sitting duck. Look at that. Maybe I should start angling away from the target. But then I have even less chance to deploy my torpedo launchers. Oh, no, shit. I'm so used to this not being reverse, but this being the detach div button, that I knocked out the engines on both ships. Which means that until they're repaired, I have a top speed of about 14.5 knots. Lovely. Okay, Kursk repaired her engines. Kronstadt hasn't fixed hers yet. And we have yet to land our first shells. I didn't even change the propellant on this. I completely forgot about that. I was so distracted with the extreme weight offset. Maybe I shouldn't have gone with the electric torps, because now they're definitely not going to get into range. Oh, close salvo, but no hits. Structural integrity down to 70%. Kursk repaired her engines. I have scored 2 hits, but done no damage. That's interesting. Ah, there we go. First damaging hit on the enemy battleship. They're firing back at me with 15-inch guns. Sorry, 14-inch. I think it's the battle cruisers which are 15s. Yeah. 4 triple 15s. Wait, what are we shooting at? One of the cruisers? No. No. Oh, actually, yeah, it's the battle cruiser. Maybe the battle cruiser is the bigger threat. Because it has slightly bigger guns. 2% chance to hit. Now, credit where credit is due, the AI has managed not to ram all of these ships into each other yet. So far, so good. Uh-oh. There's so much incoming shell fire, and the Kursk just does not have the armor to take it. If I increase speed, I'll probably get even less accuracy. 1.6. Come on. No, they're all heading away. Fine, target the biggest ship that you can find. Get at least some accuracy in there. 1.7, yeah, that's a start. These things should be super firing. Yeah. They are super firing, but that's about as good as it's going to get. Slow down. And slow down, and maintain your course away from the target. Because I believe that my 18-inch guns can deliver damage at far greater range than theirs. If they hit. And that's the big challenge, if they hit. And normally with a fairly balanced ship, I'm reasonably confident that I can do damage with those 18s. But in this situation, not so much. 21.8. %62% structural on Kursk and 98 on Kronstadt. But we're just not hitting anything. 1.6% chance to hit. That's going to come down to some really terrible salvos. And it's going to mean that I won't have enough ammunition. If I'm capable of damaging these ships at all at this range. I mean, I believe the 18s can do it. They probably have the pen for it. But the problem is hitting the target. With this atrocious accuracy. 1%, never mind. Save your ammunition. I guess we're going to have to close in. But with our ridiculous turning circle, I don't think that that's going to work too well. 0.9. Don't even think about it. They've done 928 damage and I have done 165 to the Colombo. Colombo, 14-inch, standard bulkheads, 29 knots, pretty fast. Decently well defended. And these 14-inch guns can fire to 23, which means they're out of range. The battle cruisers, 15-inch guns, minimum bulkheads. So if these things get hit by a torpedo, they are in deep, deep trouble. But getting the torpedoes there, that's the problem. How am I going to deliver those? At 12.7 kilometer range, they're not even halfway there. Any chance they'll run out of ammo? Probably not. These things have 942 shells. And they fire, what, 6? 12 every salvo. So they're gonna take a while. Yeah, here's the heavy cruiser. 6-inch guns. And torpedoes, ranging to 11. So my torpedoes will be able to launch before they shoot back at me. Great. Kursk is flooding. You're not set to reverse, are you? What's your speed? Oh. Oh dear. One thing I didn't pay attention to is engine efficiency. These things probably cannot get a move on. 3 knots. We're not in reverse mode. I'm not sure if these things can even get up to speed. This is what I get for failing to look at the rest of the design of my ship. By the looks of it, it's going to take these things forever to get back up to speed. And that means that I'm a sitting target. I am a sitting duck. Completely at the mercy of these, well, currently the battle cruisers, because the battleships seem to have some other... No, they're not really busy otherwise, but they just don't have the range. There we go, we're already up to 3.2 knots now. Definitely increasing speed. This is a complete disaster of a challenge for me. My chance to hit, still about 1%. My chance to get into range is deteriorating by the minute. Because while the Colombo and the Montandoro are doing decent speed, Kronstadt and Kursk are dead in the water. 5 knots is what the Kursk is doing. But she is already flooding, of course. And it's not like I can charge bow in, because when I do that, I will immediately lose all my firepower. I cannot fire the 18s like that. 3.5 knots. Definitely speeding up now. Save your ammo. Currently, I don't think we can hit anything. Damage to the main tower. Fortunately, they didn't knock out the rangefinders yet. Kursk is just getting battered. 5 knots. Full ahead flank. I don't think that I've ever designed a ship quite this bad that just was utterly unable to put out any kind of damage. Now, there is one thing that I could try and do, and that is just to stall as long as possible. Because if the battle cruisers eventually run out of ammunition, or go into the yellow, they will cease fire. I just don't think I can catch them. Because normally I would try and close the distance and just let them empty their mags, but they're not going to do that. The battleships aren't even firing because they're out of range. This is why you don't design a ship like this. Marchesa still has 636 shells remaining. Now the thing doesn't update all the time because we're at 5 times speed, but it will update every once in a while. So we're probably down to 614 now. 621. And she has done a substantial amount of damage. But it's probably the other ones. Yeah, the damage has been spread out across all the ships. 411 for the San Gabriel. Montandoro did a bit of damage. Colombo did relatively low amounts of damage. And the heavy cruisers probably haven't fired a single shot because they never got into range. Okay. These things are atrocious. And you thought that the spy videos were poorly designed ships. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. These things are far, far, far worse. If only they would charge me. But of course they have no reason to do that. It does seem like they're getting a little closer. But relative to the battleships, Kronstadt 25-7. They just need to be sailing parallel. Now the tiebreaker for this particular challenge is the time that it takes to sink all the ships. Yeah. Oh, we went to 25-6 from 25-7. We gained a whole 100 meters. Alright, this is probably going to get very tedious and boring, so I'm going to pause the recording, and when something interesting happens, I will be right back with you. Welcome back. About 20 minutes of in-game time has passed, and the Kronstadt has managed to achieve the blistering speed of 6.5 knots. In the meanwhile, the battle cruisers from the enemy team have decided to just give up. They have ceased fire as they are running into the yellow. Which means that they still have plenty of ammo, but they're just refusing to use it. And Kronstadt is currently trying to hit the Marchesa, although the chance to hit, even at 19-kilometer range, is still a little under 1%. The rest of that fleet is just not interested in any kind of a fight. The battleships are holding their fire, and they're just sailing away at best speed, at around 29 knots. The San Gabriel also ceased fire, and the heavy cruisers are just, well, staying in formation. So, nothing, nothing of note has happened. At least one thing that I can learn from this video, the reverse ship, or the oh, look at that. The reverse engine button actually does work. But if you have an unbalanced ship with an exceptionally poor engine efficiency, then your chances to get back up to speed within an hour or so are pretty damn poor. Now we have hit the Marchesa, and that means that maybe she becomes just slightly easier to hit. And if I can get lucky once more, I might be able to sink a battle cruiser and actually gain 10 points. That'd be lovely. Marchesa is probably going to be slowing down severely. I still need to fix this fold open thing of the enemy listing. Damn it. There we go. Marchesa doing 12.5 knots and still slowing. 12.5. Kronstadt at a 7.1 knots. She's racing towards the Marchesa. Marchesa down to 12. Accuracy. Yeah, there we go. 1%. But as we have seen, even if this thing gets hit once, it could be enough to cripple her. And if we can flood her again, to sink her. So who knows? There might be hope yet. Although there is a set of incoming shells here. That means that the battleships are once again getting involved. I think. Yep, it's the Montondoro. And the Montondoro is opening up all of her 14-inch guns. And she has a lot of those. And she has plenty of ammunition to go with it. Especially since she took an increased complement of shells. So the Kronstadt is going to have to suffer some iron rain. And hopefully not get hit. Range to the ship. 24 kilometers still. So the way that these torpedoes were intended to work. Yeah, about that. Oh, I even have one more torpedo launcher on the port side because I removed it on the starboard and the game didn't have mirror mode on. So it actually didn't get removed on that side. So I have what, 16 tubes? No, 20 tubes on the port side and 15 tubes on the starboard side. Except that we're never going to get into range. A couple of shells bouncing off of Kronstadt. Now, I'm complaining severely about the way that I've designed these ships, but I'm really wondering what the other guys built. They're probably not going to be doing much better than I am. But then again, let's say that you went with a ship that is pretty balanced. Let's say that you have a 40% aft weight offset, another 40% port weight offset. That's only 25 points per. Plus 30 points for sinking the battleships, so that's 80 points. Plus 20 points for sinking the battle cruisers, that's 100 points. And plus 20 points for sinking the heavy cruisers. That's only 120 points. I'm already sitting at 155. And I haven't sunk a single ship yet. It's not likely that that'll happen in the first place. But oh, hold on. I stand corrected. Marchesa just took another hit. And once again, struggles to contain the flooding. Are we going to get a few more points here? That'd be lovely. Marchesa listing to starboard. Buoyancy down to 30%. Speed down to... oh, actually back up to 14. From the 12 that she was doing. 18% buoyancy. Flooding is still in effect. There we go, she fixed it. 3% chance to hit now. As the distance has closed to 16 kilometers. And even the 13s are trying to pitch in. Although the chances of those things hitting are probably even worse. Yeah, there we go, 0.5. Oh, that was so close. One good hit against the Marchesa could finish her off. But nope, they have some really motivated sailors, and the buoyancy is going right back up. Unfortunately, my ammunition is not. And I am down to 356 shells of 18-inch ammo. And the Marchesa is just going back up to speed. Buoyancy 73, 74, 75. Oh, they're coming so close, these shells, but just not hitting the target. Buoyancy back up to 79 as they were able to contain the flooding to just one compartment. What's the range to the rest of that fleet? 23-4. Still. Damn. What's the speed on the Colombo? If the game would be so kind to tell me about the stats on these ships here. 22 and 25. Now the Kronstadt is taking some damage, but it's nothing really too serious. Does it make sense to switch fire to the battleships? Could we hit the Montandoro? I don't think so, because we likely only use one turret. 1.6. Speed? Almost 9 knots. You speed demon. Kursk is still attempting to sink the Marchesa. Whoa! Great hit. Ripping open 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compartments. And sinking Marchesa. One battlecruiser down for the count. Good shot, Kursk. Good shot. Now, can you... Maybe she can hit that. She does have the range. But, yeah, accuracy of 0.9. Not great. Range 23. This is going to be, once again, a tedious long-range gun duel. Kursk, try to try to change course and keep up with the enemy fleet. Not likely. Range to the closest target is about 21 clicks. That's still well outside the range of my torpedo launchers. Save. Alright, I'm going to pause it again, trying to get closer to the enemy ships. Now, the battle has been... I refuse to use the word raging. The battle has been going on for 2 hours and 40 minutes... Sorry, 1 hour and 40 minutes now. Kronstadt has taken quite a beating, but she's still here. She has been receiving about 2,000 hits, or at least 2,000 shells have been fired her way, of which only 42 hit. And after about an hour and a half of trying to accelerate, she is back at a respectable 11 knots. She is still really frickin' slow. We're still about 19 clicks away from the Italian fleet. And the accuracy is still dreadful. The accuracy is still only 1%. Now, in my defense, I already have 165 points. I already have the 155 from the weight offsets, and I've sunk one battlecruiser. I haven't lost any of my ships yet. But good lord, this is probably the most tedious Taskmaster challenge I have done. This is the most boring. I'm just pausing the recording every now and then. And I'm scrolling Reddit for 15 minutes, and then I'm going back to the battle, and we're still going. We are still going. I am not doing this shit again. I might actually be able to score some more points. Especially since it seems like the Colombo and the... what was the other one? The Montandoro are slowly but steadily chewing through their massive supplies of shells. At which point, they will cease fire. and Kronstadt and Kursk might be able to close the distance eventually and be able to deliver some of those torpedoes, or at least build some more accuracy with those 18-inch guns. Because I feel like I only need to hit the heavy cruisers a few times in order to sink those, especially with the minimum bulkheads. Same for the battle cruiser. As we have seen, it took the other battle cruiser only 2 or 3 hits to go down. But just slowly chasing after these ships is so freaking boring. So, once again, I will pause it, and I will see if I still have enough time left to get close into the enemy. Welcome back to the battle. We have now been fighting for 2.5 hours, and I've just managed to hit the heavy cruiser Fulminante once, and immediately killed it. So that's another 5 points. The Kursk is actually overtaking the Kronstadt, which is down to 5.3 knots after having taken some hits. And the Kursk is doing almost 10 knots, speed demon that she is. So now we still have a couple of heavy cruisers to sink, and we're actually getting somewhat closer to the battleships, but not quite close enough to launch torpedoes yet. So once again, we continue on with our slow march and hopefully hit another ship or two. Now, I'm not even sure if it's worth trying to target these ships, even at 16 kilometer range, where normally 18-inch guns would be exceptionally lethal. But in the current state, I'm not sure if it's worth it. Now, both of the battleships have ceased fire for about 40 minutes after they have decided that, you know what, we're running a little low on ammo and it's not quite worth continuing to fire. They still have 846 shells and 849, and they are still locked on. They still have accuracy, but they're just refusing to shoot. Which actually serves me quite well, because it gives me the, well, the incredible amount of time that I need just to try and close the distance. I'm never doing this again. Now, we are about 3 hours and 10 minutes in, and believe it or not, but we're in torpedo range. We have actually made it to the promised land of 12.7 kilometer range, and thus torpedoes. And this also means that the battle cruiser has found its, well, its courage again to try and shoot me. That means that the Kursk is once again on the receiving end of a couple of 15-inch guns. At 12.3 kilometer range, I might be able to inflict some damage against that ship. If I can bring some turrets to bear. That remains to be seen. Can this ship maybe use one of the turrets to open up against the battlecruiser? I think the answer is no, because it's my own main tower that's currently getting in the way. So instead we're going to hit the battleship, which now we actually have a pretty decent accuracy at. 7.5%. Good things come to those who wait. Maybe 18-inch shells will come to the awaiting Montondoro. And maybe I can also throw some torpedoes into the mix. Let's try and hit the Carlo 3 starboard launchers. I just don't know if those starboard launchers are still in existence after everything that they've been through. No, this one's gone. These two are still operational. Port launcher 1, 2, 3, and this one's probably gone. So, yes, there is a chance that I'll actually be able to land, or well, launch a torpedo. Whether it will land remains to be seen, because the ship that we're trying to hit has a pretty decent turning circle, but also sonar too. However, I'm firing those very sneaky torps, the ones which have very low visibility. So maybe, maybe there's hope yet, if the 6-inch guns from the heavy cruisers don't finish me off before then. Now, Kronstadt is a bit farther away, and I told her to cease fire because her accuracy, in tandem with the low amount of shells that she has, is not promising. Oh, this battle. It's very much reminding me of, I don't need to be the one with the best score, I just need to get a few more points than the next guy. But good lord. Oh, look at that, Montondoro took a pretty nice chunky hit there. Back to 89%. Columbus to 90. Come on, Kursk. Show me what you got. Starboard launchers, please. Dump some torpedoes before those the heavy cruisers with their 6-inch guns burn those things off of your ship. Which they will. They will, or they will just burn the whole ship down. Whichever happens to happen first. Uh-oh. 24%, structural falling, floatability falling. And we've just stopped firing altogether? Why? There we go. The turret is still functional. Although only just. I would love to sink a battleship for 15 points. I'm just not... There we go. Torpedoes are away. Torpedoes are away. I'm not sure how they're expected to hit that heavy cruiser. I really don't think that they're going to hit at the current configuration. This set's better. And that means that all 3 of the starboard launchers are still operational. That's very surprising considering what this ship has been put through. Montondoro taking a few more hits. We're down to 172 and 116 shells. And of course the Carlo 3 starts turning away. Now these torpedoes could, in ideal circumstances, pose a threat to the battleships. Whether that will happen remains to be seen. I'm very much itching to hit the hit the heavy cruisers, but they're only worth 5 points. So they're not really worth my time. Kronstadt, still way outside of torpedo range. Kursk, I need you to turn to starboard, insofar as you still can. You're down to 82. Come on, inflict some more flooding. They have standard bulkheads. They'll not do too well when flooded. San Gabriel, still firing. 15-inch guns, but the battleship's 14s are thankfully silent. They're not getting involved. Come on, some torpedoes would be so nice. Just landing a few. The battle has been raging for so long. I tried so hard to get into range. Now I really, really want my reward. I really want these to hit. Montondoro. Rudder damaged. Maybe that's going to increase my chances. Kursk is down to 19%. I'm starting to realize why there was not a maximum time for this particular week. 96 shells. No, ceasefire, it's not worth it. Nobody's detected the torps yet. If the torps hit the battle cruiser, that could sink it. Because she has minimum bulkheads. I just need 2 strikes. And I could get rid of the battle cruiser and score another 10 points. Turning circle 704. Turning circle here was 1233. They still have not seen the torpedoes. Oh, is it happening? Is it happening? No, it's not happening. Or... yes, it is! Montondoro took a torpedo. Unfortunately, the San Gabriel will not. San Gabriel is turning away, but the Montondoro might slow down a bit. Even though the flooding is not that serious. No way. Are you turning starboard? Please? No, she's not. Ah. Wasted opportunity. And the problem is, I'm now trying to use most of the guns that I have, so both of the 18-inch turrets. And as much as I like to turn to starboard, the ship is just not responding to her rudder. I don't even have a rudder damage, but the aft weight offset is doing me in. Kronstadt, I need you to turn this way, insofar as you can. Kursk is slowing down again. I'm gonna throw out everything that I can from Kursk. Torpedoes, 18-inch shells, everything, because I think I might lose this ship. Torpedoes are away. Do we really need that much of a launch angle to try and hit the heavy cruiser? Seems a bit excessive. But okay. The battle cruiser, once again, has decided to cease fire. Because she's running even lower on ammunition. And the heavy cruisers are very, very bravely trying to do damage. But of course, with a 6-inch gun, their chances to actually do damage against these battle cruisers is not that great. They have about a 5% chance to hit. Oh, sorry, to pen. Not even to hit. So their chances to do damage are not that great. Now, where are those torps? Here. Maybe. Maybe. Montondoro, nope. 100 shells remain here and only 92 here. We are in torpedo range. But only just. I've been telling the Kronstadt to turn starboard for the last 40 minutes, but again, with a rudder that's just not responsive. My chances to turn the ship are not great. But hey, who knows? Maybe I get lucky. Maybe the Colombo makes a mistake and gets hit by 2 to 3 torpedoes, which would slow her down, making her an easier target for the 18s. And so far, how many shells have you taken? 5,000? 5,000 shells have been fired at her, and another 3,000 at the very, well, very actually structurally sound Kronstadt, considering what she's been through. We had 80 shells. Montondoro has detected the torpedo threat. Come on. Nope. She dodged. What about the Colombo? Come on. Please. Maybe? Yes. Flooding on the Colombo. Kronstadt status. You're still inside a torpedo range. Enable. Colombo has taken a bit of flooding, but it's really not serious, and she's already working on getting that out of the ship. Okay. Starboard launch, aggressive. Use what we have. Fire at the Montondoro. 6% chance to hit. I'll take it. That's as good as it's going to get, probably. Thankfully, they still haven't found the will to fire. The battlecruiser, however, has. That's problematic. Because the battlecruiser with her 15-inch guns is actively damaging my ship. Here we can see the new AI collision avoidance in effect. These oh, good lord. These guys didn't hit each other. But the Carlo is dead. Sinking another heavy cruiser there. Wow. Oh, close to the Gabriel. Not close enough. Torpedoes still cruising. Kursk. Way out of torpedo range at this point. So, what? The San Gabriel is dead. Flash fire. Nice. Just leaves 2 battleships and 2 heavy cruisers alive. Kronstadt might, on a good day, be able to reach 22 knots. But I kind of doubt if she's going to be able to do that inside the next 5 hours. But hey, we still have torpedoes in the water. There is hope yet. So that was still 155 points, plus 2 battle cruisers is 175 points, plus 2 heavy cruisers. It's 185 points. Torpedoes are still running, come on. Hit the Colombo underneath her magazine, cause a flash fire, and get me another 15 points. That'd be great. Montondoro also might be hit. She now detected the torps. Turning to port desperately. Looks like she'll be fine. The Colombo? Not likely to evade all of them. Oh, come on! Okay, fine. Fine, you survived. heavy cruisers, as well as the battle cruisers and the battleships, decided, nah, it's not worth it. We don't have the ammunition anymore. Just don't bother. And they ceased fire. Kursk is basically written off at this point. There's no time limit for today, but I think I'm gonna call it very soon. Simply because this battle is so tedious. Just dump some torps. Maybe you hit something. I'm not likely to kill the battleship with the torps, but maybe the heavy cruiser will take some. You know what? Switch fire to the Amalfi. Chance to hit, 1.5%. But then again, one hit, as we have seen, is enough to sink these things. 4% chance to hit. Oh, close. Can we do that again? Or at least attempt it again? No. No. Just no. Ship won't fire. Despite the fact that we have the angle, the ship won't fire. That's weird. Have you tried turning your guns off and back on again? Yeah, that doesn't work either. Even my ships are going, nah. I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it. Oh, hold on, we're firing again. I guess it just took a break. 16 shells and 66 shells on the 13-inch, which happens to be on the wrong side of the ship. 12 shells. Come on, just land one. Just one. No, it ceased fire again. Come on, buddy. Missed. Now, oh, hold on. It is the 13-inch that's firing. How? Oh, all the way across the... across the deck, through the superstructure. Sure. Right. Let's do it. But why the 18 isn't firing, I don't know. Both turrets are still operational, but they're just not shooting anymore. This has to be the longest battle that I've done. This thing has gone on in-game time for 4 hours and 10 minutes. And I'm going to call it here. This is just done. So, total points scored is 155 points for weight offset. Plus 2 battle cruisers is 175 points. Plus 2 heavy cruisers is 185 points in total. I lost none of my ships. So that means no subtractions. 185 points is what I get for this week. Next week, hopefully something a bit more interesting. This was just not that fun of a challenge. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you will be joining me for next week. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like my content, become a supporter on Patreon. Linked down below in the description. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you soon for the next one.